So you invent a machine.
that scans it in your brain, looks through all the information in your brain instantly, and knows what knows what you're gonna make, or what to happen.
So what does it do with the information once it gets that information? It creates it, kind of like the 3D printer?
Oh, it doesn't really create it. It does this. Because it can do it, it makes sure it happens. And how it does that is it uses electricity. It doesn't really use electricity that costs them money. They use electricity from the last time they used lightning bolts. It'll work better if it was closer and it was really soon when electricity hit.
So what you can do is, like when, say for example, a lightning bolt came down, like hit a tree, we had something that could harness that power once it came down to Earth and hit it, and then we could use that energy to make it happen, like make the machines that you want to make.
Yeah, so like powers all that electricity up and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And when you want us to do something, it uses out energy to make it happen.
That makes a lot of sense. Really, I mean, honestly, that makes a lot of sense.
But all that happens in instant.
Like as fast as a lightning bolt.
Faster.
So we just need to.
Faster than the speed of light.
So we just need to basically what we need to do is make the thing that, like when the lightning comes down, that collects the lightning.
The hard part is the easiest part is to scan the body. The hardest part is to see which thing it's gonna do, because it could be millions of things in the brain.
That's true. That's true.
But the easy part is because when they just thunk it, it's gonna be easier to find because that's what they literally just thunk.
Yeah, it's very complex. I understand how complex it is. But here's the other thing, though. So once we get that part figured out, and we make the machine.
Like when you how it collects electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when it hits, it's gonna go through the ground because it's gonna hit the tree, or it's gonna make that go to the ground. It's gonna go to the machine, but if it's in a house, it goes to the house through the walls, or maybe onto the ground, goes up where it is, and gets to it. So when you think it, it'll happen.
So once we harness the power of the electricity.
So, but if it's like you already use all the electricity, this is what happens next. This is more of the harder part. Because it's never plugged in, it's really hard because it doesn't use a generator.
That is hard.
This is how it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It can scan the clouds and predict when the next lightning bolt's gonna hit. So it's gonna do it, but when the next lightning bolt hits, it's gonna use that electricity to make sure it's already gonna happen. But because it's about to like break or something, it's gonna use electricity for the next lightning bolt to help it happen.
So it always knows when the next source of energy is going to come about.
So even if it doesn't have enough energy at the time, we use the energy, so it's waste all the rest of the energy to do that, but not as long. But if it's soon enough, lightning can hit, and it'll use that to make it happen. But if they do another thing, it's even harder. Well, because of the electricity from the electricity pole things, it's going to use that energy source. So the closer it is to that, is the faster it's going to happen. Well, it calculates where it's from. And it shocks it. It's going to use its shock to come down to it and use that energy to make that happen.
You know, that makes absolute sense. Now we just have to figure out how to build that thing to make that happen.
I already got that figured out too.
You do? Well, here's what we should do. We should write a letter to Neil deGrasse Tyson, because he is one of the leading physicists of our time and cosmologists. he could probably help us build a machine like that, or at least get a lot of his like coworkers, because he works with lots of scientists and stuff, and they all like use their brains like that, and that's what they do like for a living. And he is a friend of mine, so I can just like message him. I'll send him a text message or call him, and we can see if he's busy like in the next, I don't know, maybe not next Saturday because we have plans, but maybe the Saturday after that if he's not doing anything, because he's a scientist and he's brilliant.
And he can tell the people to build it. Couldn't
Right.
he?
Yeah. He could. Well, first, what's going to happen? You have to build the blueprints.
But shouldn't the money go to us though? Because we're the one who invented it.
Well, yeah, things like that.
But we're gonna split the money with them too, because they're the one who called everything and stuff and made it happen. Shouldn't we split it evenly?
Yeah, but in matters of science, it's kind of like when it's science. Science, you don't really get money. When it's about science, it's about doing things for the betterment of humanity, and you don't really do it for a living.
We're not the ones being paid dumb, so they can make the machine, can't they?
Yeah, but when it comes to science, though, it's really kind of like, if we want to make any money, you kind of have to get a grant
But
from the
once we
government.
make them and sell them, shouldn't most of that money go to us? Because we're the one who pretty much thought of it, you know?
Yeah, we first have to.
But let's split even with all the other people through the steps. That helped.
Yeah, we want to make sure that everybody gets paid evenly, but most importantly, we want to make sure that everybody knows that, you know, that we got help doing this, and everybody along the way helped doing this, and
We don't want all of the attention to go to us, because we weren't the only one who made this. We're not the one who actually we're not the one who's actually built it and everything. We're not the ones. We just thought of the idea.
right, but we can also help build it too.
Because I'm a good engineer.
Right. That's
But I'm
exactly,
not going to work on the electricity and the scanning parts. Those are the hardest parts.
right.
I'll show you what the blueprints are like.
I could not love this kid anymore.
What?